Greetings and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. I'm guided by Spirit, and please hit that bell icon for forthcoming episodes. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events dealing with children. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. In today's episode, this is session 2, looking at the infamous pedophile mystery in South Africa, the missing 6+. And in session 1, there's always been questions whether there were more children involved. And of course, a lot of people... And of course, a lot of cases were not investigated due to racial issues. And the only kids that went missing are these 6 here that we are aware of, but there's certainly a lot more. In session 2, we're going to be looking at Fiona Harvey, who on the 22nd of December 1988 was abducted in Pietermaritzburg. And I've got a map. I'll show you guys the map. The only information we had was a white Ford Bantam Bucky pickup truck, similar to the one, or the same, but similar to that vehicle type. And the dumb criminals that the Van Rooyens were apparently had the company had the company logo on the side of the vehicle, right? That's what the dumb criminals are. Now, at this point, if you aren't aware, the 6 girls and the rest have not ever been found. There was never a court case because the 2 losers shot themselves. Now, what we're going to do in this episode is look at Fiona Harvey's case. And then we'll do a breakdown on the day they committed suicide and see who's involved as well. Now, the case is coming out of South Africa here, in that yellow circle. And the first crime took place here. There's that Cresta shopping center in Johannesburg. And the second case with Fiona takes place here near the coast in Pietermaritzburg. So in fact, let me do this now. The reason why there's such a big distance between the cases, because there was another case where a girl was abducted in Durban, which is around here, well, Durban around there, but she fortunately escaped. So session 1 took place there. And session 2, Pietermaritzburg. Okay. So if we had to zoom in here, beg your pardon. The case takes place here on the East Coast, near the East Coast here. So let's look at the day then Fiona goes missing. December the 22nd, 1988. So here we are here, and then I've drawn out the 3 days after, as well as the total summary reflection sequence. Okay. Let me just make sure you can see this properly. Okay. So let's have a look on this day here. So again, so what we'll do is at a certain point we'll compare all 6 in one go. and identify the sequence and patterns. From a crime perspective, of course, 22-4 is the plan. They are on the hunt. And we note the 22-4 also pings on Joey, the female criminal. Okay. We note the 34-7, 25-7. You see this number here, now that I'm going into these cases, and this being the second one. This 34-7 and the 7 is coming up a lot. And that also speaks about people in official positions. Even police force, 7. What alarms me on this day, to be honest, we have this ginormous 60, outcome 6. In the context of a child being around adults, this is completely heinous debauchery. We also see a 33-6 in play here. And I'm getting the tinge of, was there the people involved in this thing? Was there also any satanic links to this as well? It might be worth investigating. Because the minutes, you know, when I drew out these numbers, this 60-0, so let me just say what that is. Let's say, for example, in the real, we're in a war situation. Let's take Ukraine, Russia at the moment, right? The 60 outcome 6 is like bombs. Now, on one hand, and this would require further research, but not part of this episode, the temperature in South Africa during the 80s, particularly the 80s, and of course every decade was important before and after, but the 80s were particularly violent. I actually happened to research another story that took place in the 80s, and you know, I lived through South Africa, but some of us weren't exposed to the horrors where most of the population were experiencing horrors. But the 60 outcome 6 is a bloody violent number on an epic proportion, unfortunately. So in a way, it can measure the temperature of the day for us here. So we got 33-6 premeditated murder elements. And this is the worrying thing, because just from an energy point of view, and of course we'll prove it with numbers, the energy with this sequence was very different with Tracy's sequence. So one, we could say in Tracy's sequence, this is non-peak season, because with Fiona, this is happening in the middle of summer holidays for us, right, in South Africa. So the energy is a lot, I'm feeling it's a lot thicker here. Energy levels are up. Yeah. So the December the 22nd finishes with 15-6, or the outcome rather, let's say. The outcome is 15-6-6, which pings directly on Gert Gert over here, who is the male perpetrator. So definitely got a thumbprint on this one with his accomplice here, Joey. Oh, what I wanted to add, beg your pardon. The Van Rooyens had property here on the coast. Beg your pardon, I was meant to mention that up front. The Van Rooyens had a company and property, I believe, in the coast. In fact, when my cousin passed last year from cancer living on the coast here, I actually drove through the area where their house was and got the chills there. I will bring the location footage and photographs. I tried looking for it. I couldn't find my spare drive, but I'll keep looking. I'll get it. Because I actually been on the site there and took photographs and video where the situation happened. So the temperature already here is quite hostile. And to give everyone, it just crossed my mind, 1988 is when I matriculated, when I finished school actually. So I would have been in this area because I took a holiday in Durban. Jeez. Now that we put all the elements together, right? So, but I was more on the coast side, whereas, so Pietermaritzburg to the main hub of Durban, let's say, is also about a 40-minute drive, depending. These days, there's so many cameras there that you have to drive at the speed limit, but it's about a 50k drive, 50 minutes, 60 minutes max. This is scary, man. Imagine what these young girls had to go through. So December the 23rd is, for me, a huge problem here. This is like pigs at the trough. This is like pigs at the trough behavior. Do you know that behavior? Debauch, pigs, gluttony, vile. Look at all these 26/8s here. And hidden 35/8. Oh, this would have been a terrible, terrible, terrible day in the history of South Africa overall. And these were, yeah, bad days. Now, if we take it from the perspective of Fiona Harvey having been abducted by two adults, now driven to their location, when we've got all these 26/8s, that is super, super, super aggressive, violent, detrimental. And again, we're going to see a theme of this 34/7, right? So there's definitely serious connections going on here with people in authority that don't have diplomatic immunity. So, and again, we have a 16/7 fingerprint on Joey. There's 16/7. 16/7 in her heart. So completely bad day here. And again, so if we take it from the perspective of who they're delivering to and for, in my opinion, the sense I'm getting, I'm being cautioned. I'm going to go there, fuck it. I spent many years, let's call it 12 years, in my TV career, studying, not necessarily studying, but through the programming that I was doing, I would study the history. I was afforded the opportunity to study the history of the country, the unfortunate history. There's a situation called Flakplaas, was it? And this is going to be quite emotive, but I have to give you what I'm getting, and I've received confirmation. There was for those that don't know the South African apartheid history, there was a place called Flakplaas. One of my mentors or executive producers who passed a few years ago, I can feel his presence here, Walter Chakela. Anyway, Flakplaas, they did brutal things to African people there. Brutal. When I was talking about the pigs and this 26/8, that's what they were doing to African people. But worse than you may imagine, and even worse after that. But the sense that I got around here, Flakplaas, let me write here. Flakplaas. There's horror stories behind that name. Yo. I looked at this a while back. Flakplaas, if you can stomach movies like Hostel, Turkey Shoot, then read up about what people in authority did to African people. And unfortunately, when I get to December the 23rd, what happened at Flakplaas feels like it may have also happened to them in a sense. Sorry to say. The energy is very different to Fiona here, unfortunately. Here, the situation is heinous, right? But in an attempt to describe the difference in energies, this was like clean, procedural, if you like. Okay? And please, we understand that it's a sensitive situation, but when we get here to Fiona, the energy here is very, very, it's like, so let's put it in context. As mentioned, this was summer holidays, right? This is like men on holidays or groups on holidays, and now they're just going to be debauched. You know what I mean? Pigs at the trough. Now, the December the 24th, looking at it from a reflective point of view, and we're following this line here. Look at these treacherous numbers, 36, 9, 27, 9. This is heinous. And the irony, unfortunately, these are familiar people. These would technically be familiar people to us, South Africans and people that know the story, or South Africans. The crimes were perpetrated by South Africans. Yes, we know that, right? But 24/6 gives us that, tells us familiarity. They would otherwise be our family members, motherfuckers. And by the way, this young lady here, Yolandi, who was unfortunately the sixth victim, was actually this lady's niece. The outcome of December the 24th is 35-8-17-8-8. Pings on Puppet Master. Oh, there was something I created here. Where is that here? Yeah. Pings directly on, I beg your pardon. There. Pings directly on Puppet Master. Now, to confirm the allegation, or allegation, or if we look for confirmation, right? Because what are the chances that the numbers ping on him? The pig that he is, or was. Now the true summary day of the event. So the numbers in the square here will give me information also of what happened on this day from a reflection point of view. What do we have here? Hidden 37-10-1. The people in official positions, we recall the numbers 34-7, 7s, 34-7 here. Right, and yeah, they are here, all hidden. Debauchery going on here, what humans shouldn't do to other humans, particularly in the case of children. And transactional numbers, 19-10-1. Transactional. Now, if we look at the December the 22nd all the way to December the 25th in the real, it is interesting to note that 22, 23, 24 is where all the activity is happening, right? It gets to Christmas Day, and these hypocritical pigs are now with their family, so there's no activity, but it's all hidden. Do you see there? Pigs. No activity on Christmas Day because they're with their families, who also have children. The pigs. So if we complete the summary sequence, right? So +6, so we go +3, +6, +9. Hidden 40. That's also all the males. Pings on Joey. 31-4, we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. 31-4, put your hand up there, Magnus Milan. Put your hand up, sir. You're a winner, 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 winner. And 13-4, he has also a 13-4, but also speaks about children. You pigs. So on the, as mentioned, then we have two girls. We'll look at the two girls as well. We can learn from that experience from a numerology point of view as well. Maybe we should come back to the last night event day. You see here on the +9 reflection, right? So 3, 6, 9. Universal numbers. Yeah, we have these 43-7 mothers, 34-7. Hey, all the official guys hiding. Led by the head honcho, 31-4 again. Magnus, you're a winner tonight. Picking up all the winning tickets, huh? And they even took from their own family members. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think let's leave this for another episode at some point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is heavy. Let's watch some comedy in between. And please share your thoughts and comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.